Hey, this is Arrow. This is vocal defrag. Vocal defragging is giving yourself permission to ask yourself questions. We're always depending on other people to answer our questions. What do you think? Should I do this? And then when it doesn't pan out, what happens? You become disappointed not only in them, but in yourself for trusting them, for leading you in that direction. It's got to start with you. Ask yourself the questions and then question the answers. I keep a handwritten journal called a defrag journal, and I also do the vocal defrag journal. And the reason being is that once I go back into the writing, it's my interpretation. There's no inflection there. There's no volume. There's no emotion. It's words on a page. So when I do it on a digital device such as this, a vocal defrag gives me my pitch, volume, and tone. But let me be honest with you here. I don't vocal defrag like you're going to listen to here. This is a conversation between you and me. A vocal defrag, a true one, is you recording, you asking questions, and then questioning the answers. It involves no third party at all. I don't have a picture of anybody but myself in front of me, and I've got to be blunt and honest. So you can dig in, figure stuff out, locate some answers. Yeah, that job of yours, they keep wanting, don't they? They keep giving you information to make you bigger and stronger for them, right? And then one day your number is up. Did you prepare for it? Ask the questions, question the answers. Trust me, if you live in a world of business that the firing of people or the laying off of people is rampant, you got to get yourself ready for it. Look for the signs by asking the questions and questioning the answers. Be ahead of their game. This is vocal defrag. So what happens when you get in the way of yourself? It's not conceit. It's not overconfidence. It's just that you allow your emotions to control what you should be doing, but you don't want to do. One of the things that I worried about in my early days of becoming a third-degree black belt in martial arts, it was always that fear of, well, what happens if I get hurt today? What am I going to do? I mean, I've had broken ribs. I've ripped my knees to shreds. I have put more bruises on my body, all because of being a martial artist. It's just part of the path. But what I don't have bruised up is my mentality, my drive, my passion, my perseverance. And the reason why is because you learn how to protect what really counts by not getting in your way. So when I feared going onto that mat, knowing that the person that I was going to take on was much faster than me, and man, their legs were rock hard, which meant when it connected with my body, oh, for the love of God, something was going to happen. When you get in your own way, I daily write to try to do everything possible to get out of my way. I want to put my fears, my doubts, my shaming on a piece of paper. And the reason being is because once I make it open to my eyes, then I'm able to work my way through it. It helps you lower your anxiety. And we've all got problems with anxiety right now. We're all suffering from several different levels of PTSD. But if you keep it trapped inside of you by getting in your way, then how do you expect to find a healing way? In a book? Asking friends? Maybe talking to your parents? None of them live in your shoes. That's like my mother. She grew up in the age of World War II. My father was in World War II. They always talked about that being the dark times of America. They are the hardest working generation of all time. And yet, I try to explain to my mother through prayer what today's atmosphere is like, and I don't hear anything. And I think the reason why my heart doesn't develop something is because the voices in my head are saying, your mom's time is not like these times, and there's no way you can compare the two. They are two different times. But we tend to do that. We like to compare notes. We like to put ourselves on pedestals, or we put ourselves inside a valley floor. We just like to do it. We think it's natural to do that. It's being humble or being honest, when in reality, it's you getting in the way of yourself. How do you break free of that? Well, I'm on a transition walk through a beautiful forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. I do this every day to help clear my mind. Notice I said clear, not clean, but clear my mind. It's not all going to go away. Mentally, you're going to be holding on to things, and they're going to pop up 25 years from now, and you're going to say, well, where the hell did that come from? Little things get in our way. The biggest thing is yourself. And so through the writing, through having open conversations such as a vocal defrag, you're able to put things in a way to where you're talking about it. You know, we could easily get on a computer these days and talk to a psychotherapist or a psychologist. It's easy. My granddaughter does it, and you know, she's a much better person for it. I'm not knocking it. But I often wonder if she has conversations with herself. To ask questions about, hey, the next time that I'm with Dr. So-and-so, this is what I want to bring up. Because if you're going in there ready to ad-lib or just do some improv with the people that are going to try to get into your head and heart, then really, are you getting anything done? Is it the same old story over and over again? In fact, before coming out on this transition walk, I actually put in the question area, what are you going to talk about on a vocal defrag today? And the words that fell out of my writing instrument, it's the same old story. It's the same old story. So the follow-up question was, why do you think it's the same old story? And what can you do to keep it from being the same old story? In other words, I was standing in the way of myself. I never know what's going to move through me while I'm inside this beautiful forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. All I know is that my focus is on you. My focus, my ideas are right here because somewhere along the line, I heard it in my heart. Yeah, it's really cool that you vocal defrag, but why aren't you teaching people how to do it in an age where they can't afford the computer conversations with the professionals, or they've stopped trusting their family and friends with things that they're moving through when it comes to these storms. So therefore, they've gone inward. And when you go inward, your silence is what gets in the way. You're getting in the way of yourself. All I'm asking, or all I'm sharing with you is that take the necessary steps, and it's going to take confidence. Oh my God, to sit down with a digital device and be open and honest with yourself with the questions and answers, you asking yourself your own questions, it feels like an idiot on parade. You feel like that you're a circus, and then to go back and listen to it, you're not going to listen to it. What you're going to hear is your voice. Are you speaking out of tune? How was your pacing? What would somebody think if they ever heard this? Right, I've been through it. I've gone through the struggles. But I'll tell you what, on the opposite end of that is a clearer mind, and you're not thrusted down by the weight of yourself. Ask yourself the questions, question the answers. Are you standing in front of your victory? I'm Arrow, and that's Vocal Defrag.